Tonight on The Roast, we look at Julia Gillard's life after leadership and a video game is banned in Australia. But first, re-primed Minister Kevin Rudd is assembling his new cabinet, which will also give him somewhere to house those knives he's collected. But 7 ministers under the Gillard government have stepped aside, making way for a whole new team of people that you haven't yet learned to profoundly dislike. Some of the new faces that have been talked about as potential ministers include the member for Corio, Richard Marles, Australia's worst insect repellent, the member for Holt, Anthony Byrne, who I loved in The Demon Headmaster, and member for Chifley, Ed Husick. Finally, Australia's first baby minister. Congratulations, Ed. Maybe one day you'll become our first baby Prime Minister. But is Australia ready for a baby Prime Minister? Well, only if he's a boy. But when it comes to the new cabinet, well, since Rudd's last deputy knifed him in the back, you'd better believe his new one underwent a pretty thorough interview process. And he came out clean, so good on you, Albo. Knives are for cooking. But there's still plenty of disunity within the Labor Party, especially since 45 of the 102-member Labor caucus voted for Julia Gillard. So how does Labor get itself back on track? Well, Clark Richards thinks he has the answer.
Tom, Labor has trust issues, but to win this election there needs to be unity. So I got together with a few of the key players who are likely to be in Rudd's new cabinet and did a few team building exercises.
Oh yeah? How'd that go?
It went. Okay, thank you all for coming. Byrne, Miles, baby minister. Now, it's been a stressful few days, a lot of turmoil and a lot of change, but that's over now, okay? We need to move on. So, let's start by getting rid of the bad energy, all right? I want everybody to take a good deep breath in through their kundalini. Yep, hold it. We're still in power. Exhale the bad. Oh, possibly not for so long, okay? Good one, baby minister. Okay, now let's just start it all with a shake, okay? Just shake it out. Just shake it through the hips, yep, through the mouth. I want you to imagine the person you were in 2007, okay? You won the election. The public loved you, okay? We had rhyming t-shirts. Now I need you to become that person. Baby minister, you sit this one out. In this Labor government, no one's going to get stabbed in the back. They're going to get patted on the back. No back stabbing. Shorten, I can see I've lost you. Put the knife down. I want everyone to yell at their inner critic, I will be a good minister.
I will be a good minister.
We made the right choice.
We made the right choice.
I can cover the entire back history of any ministerial portfolio by Monday.
I can cover the entire back history of any ministerial portfolio by Monday.
Oh, good! Finally, trust among the front bench is key to a successful government. Fitzgibbon, I'm going to fall backwards into your arms, trusting that you will catch me. Okay? Here we go. It feels good to laugh, doesn't it? Good. But keep practicing. If you don't trust each other, Australia won't trust you, okay?
Well, one person who won't be around for those trust exercises is our ousted former Prime Minister. No, the more recently ousted former Prime Minister. No, he's the former current Prime Minister. One more. There we go. Julia Gillard. What's it been like for Julia Gillard since her spectacular axing just 2 days ago? Well, after being sacked, she did not go home and start planning her autobiography, Why Bother? The Julia Gillard Story. No. Instead, she turned up again for her last ever day in Parliament to sit at her brand new bench, the backbench, where for Ms Gillard, the one advantage of being all the way back there is that she's all the way back there and not just a few metres away from this face. And speaking of that face, yesterday Mr Abbott used the mouth on it to say of Ms Gillard that
she will always remain the first female Prime Minister of our country, and as the father of 3 daughters, I appreciate the magnitude of that achievement.
Appreciate the magnitude being Tony Abbott for dreamt every second that she'd call an early election so I could beat her. Then yesterday afternoon, the departing independent Rob Oakeshott moved everyone with a farewell address that included this tribute to Julia Gillard.
I sent the Prime Minister a text to say her father would be proud of her.
Oh, who knew Rob Oakeshott could make me feel again? And keep it short. So from 2 very different people, we got 2 very different impressions of the Prime Minister. One as a woman and one as a person. But look, with any change of leadership, we have to consider Ms Gillard's legacy. As she said in her farewell speech on Wednesday night,
what I am absolutely confident of is it will be easier for the next woman and the woman after that, and the woman after that, and I'm proud of that.
To which feminist author Anne Summers replied,
You know, I think we have a long way to go before politics is going to be seen as an attractive career for most women.
Rachel Corbett, how can we make politics more attractive to women?
Well, we could, you know what, I got nothing, Tom. There is nothing that would make me want to be Prime Minister right now.
Because the world of politics is a boys' club.
Because that, Tom, everything in my life would get worse. I wouldn't be Rachel Corbett, I'd be Rachel Liar. Right now, no one cares if I turn up to Coles in the same thing 3 times in a row, but wear that to Question Time, it'd be front page news. And who's going to want to get close to Rachel Liar? Who's going to date me if their sexuality is going to be constantly called into question?
Well, I know someone who'd date you.
You know, all my insecurities, they'd just be slapped everywhere. I really don't need Jermaine Greer to tell me that my ass looks big.
Well, I suppose, Rachel, it was never going to be easy being the first female Prime Minister.
True, but the thing I've learnt from Gillard's tenure is that any woman can be Prime Minister, they just probably won't. Just like I can poke myself in the eye, but I won't because it'd be too painful.
And it'd ruin your beautiful eyes. The point is, thanks to Ms Gillard, we really are living in a post-gender political climate. Australia's become so progressive, I'll bet you tomorrow the media won't even need to point out the fact that our Prime Minister is a man. And finally tonight, controversy is brewing after the Australian Classification Board banned 2 video games in the past week: zombie survival game State of Decay and Saints Row 4. Really? They made 4 games about St. Peter in a boat? What's that? Oh, it's an open world action game where you play the president trapped in an alien nightmare. Great. Well, there go all those jokes about the 4 oarsmen of the apocalypse.
Excellent!
Now, back in January, after years of debate, an R18 classification was introduced to allow the sale of more adult games like Mortal Kombat, which feature explicit fatalities, even though they're basically child-proof already because they're so freaking impossible to do. Up, down, left, square, triangle, God damn it, I can still never do them. So on Tuesday, the Classification Board released a statement about the banning of Saints Row 4, saying,
"The game includes a weapon referred to as an alien anal probe."
But anal probing is just classic Alien. They destroy cities, steal cows, befriend Drew Barrymores, and probe humans. And the Classifications Board also denied classification to Saints Row 4 because it includes alien narcotics that give you superpowers.
In the board's opinion, there is insufficient delineation between the alien narcotic available in the game and real-world drugs.
A factor that was also cited in the banning of State of Decay. Because if there's one thing we don't want our children doing, it's blowing off a zombie's head and killing civilians whilst under the influence of illicit substances. Although, I'm pretty sure Mario loved his shrooms and that game's rated G. The point is, if in real life you tried doing anything from a video game of any classification, you'd probably end up getting arrested.
I forced a frog to cross a busy highway, condemning that frog to certain death.
I went from house to house breaking pots and stealing the money I found inside.
I jumped on a turtle and threw its dead body at another turtle. Then I threw a fireball at a squid.
So where do we draw the line about what is appropriate in a medium where anything is possible? Well, to discuss this further, we have Jazz Twemlow live from his living room. Jazz, what are your thoughts on this?
Damn it! Oh, what? Sorry, I was just playing shooter game. Bloody killing sniper violence right at my fingertips. It's horrifying, Tom.
Is that even legal?
It is. I mean, all I had to do was click OK. I could have been anyone. They just trust you're 17 on a phone, but not in a shop, buying an R-rated game when you're obviously an adult. Plus, the games they haven't banned contain some pretty violent stuff.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, after a few plays, I admittedly got a bit lost in the world of Grand Theft Auto. Hijacked a tank, slept with a prostitute, then went drink driving. So where's the line of censorship drawn at, Tom?
Well, if Saints Row 4 is anything to go by, launching people into the sky from an alien probe put up their backside.
And I've got a way around that censorship, Tom. If I want to play Saints Row 4 in Australia, I'd be breaking the law, just like I do in computer games all the time. I can't kill people, I'd get arrested, but in a computer game, I can kill anyone I want. Even old people, Tom, old people, and nothing happens. That's why I'm asking Rockstar Gaming Studios to make Saints Row 4 in GTA 5. In here, I've just shot some sex workers and bought a load of drugs off a kid, all illegal in real-world Australia. Then I came back to my virtual home after, of course, killing the drug kid and getting my money back. And in this safe house, in this world, I can sit down on my virtual couch and play Saints Row 4. If it's illegal to play a game in real life, play that game in a game. Back to you, Tom.
All right, thank you, Jazz. Good advice. And while you're there, could you ask Rockstar when they're going to release the game Rachel Notices Tom? Good night.